girl accidentally bumps into the boss of a big company, and in that single moment there's the spark between them and the boss couldn't take his eyes off her. But before either of them could say much, the secretary snapped, "Can't you see where you're going?" The girl immediately apologized, her face flushed with embarrassment, and she quickly walked away. The next day, the man found himself waiting near the same place, almost like his heart was pulling him there. And when he finally saw her again, he smiled and said gently, "Nice meeting you again." The girl smiled shyly, unsure of what to say. He then asked, "Do you work here?" "Yes, I do," she replied quietly. She looked a little nervous as she said, "I heard I broke your phone, so I'll compensate you for it." But the man said kindly, "It's fine. Don't worry about it." Still, the girl shook her head. "No, I have to make it right. I'll buy you a new one." The man chuckled softly and then said with a teasing tone, "How about this? Instead of paying me back, why don't you be my girlfriend?" She froze, completely shocked. How could you ask someone to be your girlfriend the second time you meet them? The man walked closer, his voice calm yet full of sincerity. "The first time I saw you yesterday, I fell in love. But if you don't feel the same, I won't bother you again." The girl was left in a speechless state. The man started to walk away when suddenly the girl called out, "Hey, wait a minute. I'll be your girlfriend." The man's eyes lit up like the sun had risen just for him. And the girl couldn't help but smile too. Days turned into weeks and the two became inseparable. Always together, sharing laughter, stories, and quiet moments that made them feel like the world had finally given them a piece of heaven. But then one day, out of nowhere, the man looked at her and said softly, "Let's break up." The words hit her like a storm. "Why?" she asked. He looked down and said, "I need to go far away. That's why." The girl, desperate and confused, replied, "That's fine. I'll go with you." But the man said, "I won't be back. Thank you for being with me all this time. I'm already more than satisfied." Her heart shattered in that moment, tears streaming down her face as she whispered, "Please don't do this." But he walked away, leaving her standing there in pieces. What the girl didn't know was that the man was gravely ill, dying, and he just didn't want her to see him fade away. She ran after him, hugging him tightly from behind, refusing to let go. Then she handed him a small box and said, "This is for you." When he was about to open it, she stopped him and said softly, "Please open it when you're alone." She smiled one last time, pretending to be strong, but her heart was breaking inside as she watched the man she loved disappear from her sight. When he got home, he opened the box and found a letter and a bank card inside. The letter read, "Meeting you was the greatest blessing of my life. During our time together, I felt deeply in love with you, and every day I could feel how worried you were about losing me. I know about your illness, so I've only managed to save $50,000 over the years, and it's all in this card. It's not much, but it's everything I have. Please use it to get your treatment. I believe you'll get better." As he read those words, tears poured down his face uncontrollably, crying until there were no tears left, realizing how deeply she had loved him, more than he ever deserved. 5 years later, the girl had worked hard and had now become a boss herself, but with eyes that still carried a shadow of the past. One afternoon, the man showed up, called her name softly, and said, "Thank you for saving my life." The girl cried happy tears, overjoyed to finally meet the love of her life again, the one she thought she'd lost forever.